Welcome to the RN to Writer Show. I'm your host, Elizabeth Haynes. I'm a nurse, but I made my living as a freelance writer, and today I help other nurses and honestly any kind of health professional start a writing business too. Hey, before I get started, don't forget to expand the description box on YouTube for links to any resources I might mention. You also can subscribe and click that notification bell so you'll know every time we post new content on YouTube, or if you prefer your information audio only. You can follow our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Lastly, don't forget to share this podcast with your nurse and clinician friends so they can get in on this great opportunity also. So welcome to the show, Shelly. It's so great to have you here, and I know everybody is going to be fascinated to hear your journey. So everyone in the audience, let me introduce Shelly Umstot. Shelly has been a member of the RN to Writer family for quite a while, since 2021 actually. Shelly originally took a course that is now retired. Actually, it's folded into the Get Paid Well to Write program, but it was on content marketing writing. And she decided to take the big leap, quit her job in healthcare and took the course and went full-time freelance and landed her first client relatively quickly and still has that client today. And then as things do, they kind of slowed down a little and Shelly kept prospecting. And now she's starting to see some real upturn in her, client acquisition, billings, all of that kind of thing. But like many people, I know myself, we don't necessarily become health writers for the money. A lot of nurses today make great money. It's really not about the money at all. It's about the lifestyle of being a freelance writer. And Shelly, I was wondering if you could tell everybody how your life has changed since you took that leap, quit your job, and now you're a full-time health writer. What's that like?
It's exciting for me. It's definitely taken so much stress off of my whole world. I had been a nurse in the field for home care for about 10 years and went into clinical supervision and really struggled with feeling that the administration did not understand where we came from and did not and the field staff was not understanding that I was really trying to help them with the administration. So I felt like I was in the middle of and being in a tug of war. So I decided rather abruptly to leave. And that was in April and May of 2021. Long story short, found out that my son and daughter-in-law were expecting, was able to go to North Carolina and help them during the early pregnancy. It was a little hard on my daughter-in-law. And while I was there, I took your course and really saw this as something I wanted to do. I love education. I love teaching patients. So I thought, writing is something I can really use my resources. I've been a nurse for 35 years. So all of that put together, I can put it on paper or I can put it on the web and let people understand where I came from and what I did. So that's how I got started.
Awesome. Now, part of the reason that I appreciate you coming on the show is because, of course, like many companies in our marketing, we highlight the outliers. The people who come in and 5 months later, they're billing, $8,000 a month. But that is not the typical journey. Now, I would say your journey is not exactly typical either, from the standpoint that it doesn't take everybody 3 years to usually get fired up. A lot of people, they're somewhere in between there. Somewhere in between, I'm going to say 6 months and 2 years, they're really making a living at this, if that's what they want. But I really wanted to have you on to balance that viewpoint of everybody's journey is unique. And some of it is about how much a person is marketing and how well they're grasping the concepts and things like that. So you've done a terrific job of that. And you said that you have found LinkedIn is working well, and you've seen a little bit of an uptick over the past months. Do you have a sense of what to attribute that to?
I think it's connections. I've learned so much from other people on there and not necessarily hearing them say, oh, I made $100,000 this 2 months, but more so just learning from them. I have a I would call her a friend. I've never met her before face to face, but she is a content strategist. And I just a quick question here or there via a direct message has helped. She gave me a reference for someone to help me with CEO, and I made a little bit of an investment in that and actually just spent an hour with him and learned so much. So that helped a lot. Took some of the free courses from LinkedIn on content management, SEO marketing and copywriting, and used a lot of the downtime over the last 3 years to really dig into anything I could grab. And most of that was free because I wasn't making anything to invest my money in. I took the time to kind of search out things that were free. So that's where I've gotten most of my confidence from, is knowing that I know what people are talking about. When I first started, I thought, oh my goodness, I have no idea what, an email sequence is, or what are they talking about with copy even? Or do they mean what's a copywriter versus a freelance writer? So those were the things that I've learned over the 3 years that have really made me better able to market myself and use the language that people are looking for, and made me a better writer because I can stand out a little bit. A couple of the articles I've written have actually made the top 10 rankings in Google. So that was
Wow,
really a confidence booster. So
that's exciting.
yeah, so that's probably where I've done my most lucrative marketing. I apply to every job that has the least inkling of something that I think I can do on Indeed or LinkedIn. So not that I've had much good luck with that, but
Yeah, I always like to say the best freelance gigs are not advertised. And one of the things that we teach in the full-blown Get Paid Well to Write program, which is what we incorporated the course you took into, is exactly how to go find the clients, the good clients, the clients who pay well. And so we'll help you along with that too. And we try to cover that also in the Success Society, our private community. So I know you get in there and participate as well. Now, you were saying that one of the things you love really is having control of your schedule because you have 2 grandbabies now.
Very much so. And that's maybe why I am not like going at this full force as far as, I could be marketing every day. I write every day, but not necessarily am I getting out there and saying, hey, this is me and all of that. I have a sign above my computer that says, write a LinkedIn article every Wednesday. And I did that for about 3 weeks. And then it's like, oh, I don't have time to do that today. The girls need me to go to the zoo with them. So it's been great being able to just take the time and enjoy my family so much that I wasn't able to do as a nurse in the field, or practicing in the field. And I still get to keep my license. In Ohio, we have to do 24 hours of continuing education every 2 years, and you do pay the fee, but it's a lot easier. I think in Maryland, when I lived there, you had to have 1,000 hours of active work in the field, which I guess the writing, I could certainly get the 1,000 hours. I guess that's would be considered active practice, but in Ohio, it's much easier. And so I do CEUs that I know I'd be interested in, and, that kind of thing.
The interesting...
kids are I'm so happy to, yesterday my 2-year-old granddaughter went to sleep, and I got to finally spend some time with my, I guess my youngest is 13 months, and she's just starting to walk, and just sitting on the floor playing with blocks. And so
how exciting.
Yeah.
I was going to say, the interesting thing about these states where they have a requirement for hours, so many hours of practice, they never specify. You may notice they never specify what that means. And
right.
Many nurses interpret that to mean like bedside. And I'm like, really? Do you see CNOs doing 1,000 hours at the bedside? Because I'm not seeing that. And yet they still have their licenses.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that that's interesting to me. And I certainly consider health writing to be the practice of nursing.
Right.
Education is the bedrock of what we do.
Exactly.
So, Shelly, tell us what your website URL is.
It's Umstot Content for Health, all spelled out.
.com?
.com, yes.
Awesome. Everybody go visit Shelly's website. If you're an editor or a content director who needs great content, go over to Shelly's website. You can also find it in the show notes or the description box below this video on YouTube. Shelly, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your journey with us. I know it's going to inspire a whole bunch of other nurses to pursue this career, and we thank you so much.
Thank you. Like I said, I feel very honored to be with you.
So that's it for this episode of the RN to Writer Show. I'm your host, Elizabeth Haynes. I'm a nurse, but I made my living as a freelance writer. Hey, tell us what you thought of this episode by posting in the comments on YouTube. You also can email us if you'd like, and you can send us suggestions for shows you'd like to see. Once again, don't forget to expand the description box on YouTube to locate links to any resources I may have mentioned in this episode. And you can also follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Until next time, keep pitching.